unusual lengths, simple cuts, lots of material with few seams, and muted colors. It's a look that garnered lots of praise this March at the pret-à-porter shows. For the Frankfurt fashion designer René Storck, it was his first presentation on the catwalk ever.
The moment was perfect. The lighting was good, and we had this incredible location. I wanted to try out my idea of how to use this room, the way the people sat, and it turned out my idea worked. And I find it very exciting, and it proves to me that it really happened.
The designer, relatively unknown until then, says that his clean business look is inspired by Frankfurt, Germany's banking capital. In 2006, a banking family discovered René Storck and decided to sponsor him. He opened a shop on the upmarket Goethestrasse, right next to Jimmy Choo. Back then, he did everything himself.
I headed this little company myself for the last 4 or 5 years. I didn't go to trade fairs at that time. I only went to Paris privately. And I'm fortunate to be able to expand here from Frankfurt and to go so far in such a short time. It shows that it's a good connection.
Since his success in Paris, Storck's business in Frankfurt has been doing well. A René Storck creation costs between 250 and 3,300 euros, depending on the fabric. Now his fashions are also available outside of Germany, in Switzerland, Luxembourg, and Belgium. And soon, Paris and New York will follow too. The international fashion press calls him one of Germany's most gifted design talents.
I'm incredibly happy that my fashions are so present in the fashion magazines. All these things are very fulfilling and motivating, and they give me lots of energy. But ultimately what shapes my days is that I continue to remain creative.
Storck is self-taught when it comes to design. Fashion has fascinated him since childhood. From the age of 16, he took jobs at fashion trade fairs and in boutiques. After finishing school, he apprenticed as a tailor and took courses on designing patterns. Today, he looks to the street, Paris, and exhibitions for inspiration.
I run around during the day, and then in the evening I sit down and formulate what I've experienced. The result might be nothing more than a new sleeve form that transforms the content of a whole outfit.
Storck recently found his first fashion drawing from 1986. At that time, he still designed for men. He says he had a vision early on of how his style should look, and he hasn't changed it.
I think my style is very recognizable. Simplicity and straightforwardness, and the colors aren't too flashy. For a long time, I didn't see it myself. I'm very surprised how much my early drawings display this aesthetic.
Storck's studio is bustling at the moment. He's working on his 2012 Spring-Summer collection, adding finishing touches to the 120 pieces, designed in Paris, tailored in Germany. On October 4th, Storck presents his fashions at the pret-à-porter in the French capital for the second time.
I'm at least as excited as the last time. Because of my success in my first lineup, expectations are great. And so it's a different challenge and no less exciting than before.
Images of the preparations for the big show in March remind the designer that he has set a tough standard for himself. The venue, the historical confines of a private apartment, is especially hard to top. René Storck will invest about 80,000 euros in his second show. Thanks to his patron, he can afford it.
All right. Quick.
Storck hasn't yet decided whether he'll use the same models from March again this time. He plans to cast models only 4 days before the show. René Storck is confident that on October 4th, he'll be successful again at the pret-à-porter in Paris.